Hello, this is Robert Capuccio. I'd like to thank you for joining me for another PT on the Net video interview. Today we're going to talk about the media, specifically reality television and advertising, and the explicit or implicit message they send about what is or is not an acceptable body image, what is or is not healthy, and some of the challenges that that might represent for our society, particularly the clients that we work with, and what we can do, if anything, about those challenges. And my guest today is Jennifer Pozner, media advocate and personality and author of the book, Reality Bites Back. Hello, Jennifer.
Hi, Robert.
Now, Jennifer, tell us about, before we even get started, some of the media that you've been exposed to and some of the programs that you've been on talking about, some of the things that we're going to get into today.
Well, as I was writing Reality Bites Back, The Troubling Truth About Guilty Pleasure TV, I monitored more than 1,000 hours of popular primetime reality shows on network and cable television over the last 10 years. And I live to tell about it so that hopefully I can explain what some of those messages are that you said in your introduction. When it comes to health and when it comes to beauty and body image, reality TV sends extremely dangerous, unhealthy messages, especially to women and young girls. Take, for example, a show like America's Next Top Model, one of the longest running reality TV franchises. Girls who are underweight by almost every medical standard, who have body mass indexes that would be signs of starvation to the World Health Organization, are told by judges that they're excellent and they're gorgeous, and you'll see their heights and weights plastered on the screen so that viewers at home can think that that's a healthy and ideal body to aspire to. Meanwhile, average healthy, normal healthy women and girls are told that they're obese when they're maybe size 8, when they're 5'10" and 130 pounds. They're called plus size, which, you know, that's only plus size in some sort of bizarro world where all of your clients are, wrong because they don't starve themselves. It's not only limiting in terms of the psychology, in terms of the psychological impact that would have on girls and women who feel that they can't be beautiful and they can't be loved without achieving this sort of airbrushed industry standard of model-esque beauty. It's also really skewed in terms of our ideas about what it means to be healthy, and that's a real problem.
Well, so somebody comes in to work with one of us, let's say, and they have an unrealistic expectation about what's possible, where they even should be. And sometimes, let's say, if I understand you correctly, they can go from being quite healthy to aspiring to be quite unhealthy. Well, how do we as fitness professionals combat reality television and something that's so pervasive as the thousands of marketing messages or advertising messages we encounter on a daily basis?
Well, that's a great question. I think that fitness professionals can play a really strong and positive role, especially if you yourselves get a bit media critical. I think media literacy is a really important skill for you as fitness professionals to have, as well as to be able to teach to your clients. So, for example, one tool that you can use in addition to the weight loss machines and the regimens and the different diet plans is ask your clients to learn how to deconstruct media images. Maybe, for example, take some print advertising, take magazines, Vogue, Glamour, Cosmo, take Men's Health and Details, and have them spend, for every hour that they spend working out, have them spend 10 minutes paging through these magazines, writing down the images that they feel they want to aspire to, and then compare those body types to what is, by doctors' standards, considered healthy. Most often what they will see as aspirational imagery is actually underweight, and to the point where so underweight that if you are, unless you're a statistical outlier who can be 5'11" and 105 pounds healthily, then to get to that weight, to aspire to become that, you would have to work out to an obsessive point that's no longer healthy. You would have to not eat well, and that is, again, something that can do damage to your body and to your heart and to your liver and all that. So media criticism, media literacy is really useful, but also you can provide them with positive images, and you can provide them with standards that are more realistic. So if they're looking at an airbrushed ideal, you can deconstruct that for them and say, okay, do you know that this person has a chin from one model and a nose from another model, and the arms look that skinny even though they're, and they look like they're muscular, because that is computer airbrushed. There's no way to be that skinny and also muscular. If you break it down for them in that level of detail, it may help to correct the body dysmorphia that media perpetuate.
So what they're looking at as their ideal body isn't even an actual body, ideal or otherwise.
In print advertising, almost never. It is almost never possible for a real human being to look like the images in print advertising, not even those real human beings. Cindy Crawford has regularly said years ago when she was the biggest model out there, I don't look like Cindy Crawford when I walk down the street, because no one person can. The degree to which computer retouching happens now is so pervasive and so impossible that it's inhuman. When you translate that into reality television, another thing people don't understand about reality TV is that an average reality show shoots 100% of the time. They use 1% of what they shoot, and that 1% is edited. So, for example, if you see a show like The Biggest Loser, you're not seeing the many contestants on The Biggest Loser who've ended up hospitalized for dehydration because of the tactics that are encouraged on that show. You're not seeing the people who have liver failure. You're not seeing the people who have been extremely unhealthy in their pursuit of getting on that scale and being the contestant that loses the most that week for the money incentive. And you're also not seeing the dozens and dozens of doctors and medical professionals who've criticized that show as sending extremely unhealthy and unsustainable messages about what you should do and shouldn't do to lose weight.
Well, thank you, Jennifer, for that really candid feedback.
You're welcome.